Hey, it's Tuesday, February 4th. Welcome back to Damon Bruce Plus, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. We are also, of course, brought to you by our good friends sponsoring and powering today's live stream, BetUS. And it's great to have you back here. Hit like and subscribe. Boy, we're approaching a good amount of followers here. We're almost at, what do we got? Almost 27,500 followers. Looking to get to 500 today. Need about 14 of you to lean on in, hit that like and subscribe. Well, I need everyone to hit that like button. You want to hit that subscribe button. It goes really, really far. And man, we got some things to talk about today, namely free agency around the 49ers. There's a few big names out there that got everybody kind of leaning in, going, geez, I wonder, could they possibly? Can they fit him in? Can that salary work? Blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about a few names that have appeared on everybody's radar in just the last couple of days and go through, how realistic any of it could possibly be. We start with what I think is the most important bring back that the team needs to consider, and that's Dre Greenlaw. I want to see them bring Dre Greenlaw back. I think he's the soul of this defense. I really hope that he can return, and injuries aside, he is absolutely everything you want in a tone-setting linebacker. Now, the Cobra himself, Matt Mayoko, thinks that, a price point on Dre Greenlaw plus, the damaged goods that is a guy recovering from an torn Achilles and all the little dings and nicks that Dre Greenlaw always seems to has throughout a game. I mean, that guy is laying on the field hurt at some point in a game that he usually finishes, but he carves up his own body in the name of playing football. And also, other teams might be willing to give Dre Greenlaw more than the 49ers are willing to extend to him at this time. And Matt Mayoko said, look out for the LA Rams to very much be in the Dre Greenlaw, we might be interested business. The Indianapolis Colts have been also rumored to be in the might be interested in Dre Greenlaw business. Now, should Dre Greenlaw go to another team, let him put on any uniform other than a Rams uniform. The 49ers almost need to overspend to keep Dre Greenlaw to prevent him going to the LA Rams. If he wants to go to the Colts, maybe that's walk away. But he cannot be an LA Ram. He just can't be. I want him to be a San Francisco 49er, and I think each and every one of you who watch this guy play want him to be as well. He is a stud. Our good friend Otis Bird, always good to see Otis in here, says, yeah, hopefully Dre Greenlaw stays. Warner wants him back. How could anybody not want that guy back? He is such a tone setter. He's all you could want. Sip of the day comes early in this broadcast. That was perfect. That was money right there, if you don't mind me saying. So Dre Greenlaw, again, keep your own. And that's one guy I really hope that the 49ers can keep. Myles Garrett is obviously a name that as soon as you know that name is available, 31 other NFL fan bases lean in and go, well, let's talk about that. And that's how good Myles Garrett really is. Every team in football should be calling the Cleveland Browns, even though the Cleveland Browns have already said they're not interested in trading Myles Garrett. They're not going to be fielding any calls for him. That's bullshit. They will be, because the Cleveland Browns have absolutely screwed themselves over with the Deshaun Watson contract. It has basically ruined the team and will continue to ruin the team for several seasons. Myles Garrett has been nothing but a good soldier in Cleveland. And look, he also campaigned for that Deshaun Watson contract. But we're really not going to hold that against him, even though Deshaun Watson was hardly a guy to be campaigning for at the time. Football players are only looking through what they think could be best for their own careers. And I think Myles Garrett has given enough to the Cleveland Browns to think it's time to be looking out for himself now. This is a player with Hall of Fame potential who is on, as bumbling a football team as you can find in the league. No, and here's what you really need to know. How many situations, as we're watching this Luka Doncic thing play out, how many situations where you see a franchise player demand a trade or get traded or about to be on their way out of town or certainly setting themselves up to be on the next thing smoking out of town, and the collective fan base that's supposed to be angry at it basically shrugs and goes, yeah, we get it. We understand. Like, Cleveland Brown fans understand why nobody really wants to be a Cleveland Brown right now. I mean, they get it. They know it. And so there's very little anger at this trade demand. Myles Garrett wanting out at this point. I think everybody in Cleveland sort of gets it. But let's just cut right to the chase. Myles Garrett will not be joining the 49ers. It's just not going to happen. I mean, anything, I guess, could happen, but let's just slam the door shut on this and not torture, sleepless nights over the chances of Myles Garrett joining the 49ers. I just don't think it's going to happen. Not this year anyways. Not in a year where you are circling to pay Brock Purdy a salary that is just a huge sum of money. Myles Garrett feels like it's not going to happen. Myles Garrett is going to command the type of dollars that, a team that is either looking for that final piece is willing to spend, or a team that is sort of lost in the woods might be willing to spend. I mean, you telling me Myles Garrett could be a Dallas Cowboy? I believe you instantly. Jerry Jones is the kind of guy who knows that he could sell a shit ton of Myles Garrett jerseys. So he might be interested in doing that. Myles Garrett would make the Dallas Cowboys considerable defense even more to consider. There's no doubt. I mean, Myles Garrett's going to make any football team he joins on a little bit better. But at that price point, will he be changing a team's Super Bowl chances? Well, that depends on the team around him. Because obviously, if Myles Garrett had the talent all by himself to drag a team to the Super Bowl, the Browns would have fared much better than they have under the Garrett regime. When it comes to the 49ers offseason, restocking the entire bar is so much more important than showing up with that big bottle that makes everybody go, oh, you opening that tonight? Oh, look at that bottle. What is that? Is that a Magnum or something? What are the different bottle? Well, you get the Magnum, and you got the real big boy. Was it the Nebuchadnezzar? It's like 10 Magnums. So you get that's the big one. The 49ers need a whole bunch of liquor to stock the bar with for the party more than they need a Nebuchadnezzar of Myles Garrett. And that's just the honest to God's truth. The 49ers had so much problem around the margins this year because they were thin around the margins. So I just don't think it is a reality. You make the call, you inquire, due diligence does need to be done. But there's just, not going to happen. Not going to happen. By the way, John is in here supporting the channel with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much, John. He says, Uncle Damon, trust me, San Francisco fans have learned our lesson on getting our hopes up on potential players. Thanks to the San Francisco Giants, I never expect anyone anymore. Certainly not Myles. By the way, it's a Myles with a Y on Myles Garrett. You only have to make that mistake in public a few times before the internet comes down on you. Look, I don't think you need to worry about the 49ers having the ability to attract a free agent the way that the Giants have shown that. Obviously, if the Warriors turn themselves into a team that's looking to make a deal for a team, they're still a destination team. There is obviously a California tax. There is some San Francisco stigma that you might need to overcome, but on the way to getting the right player, it shouldn't be a problem for any team other than the Giants, apparently. I'm going to give you one other name that you probably need to cross off your list, and then I'm going to tell you the free agent I want the 49ers to spend a little bit, and even if it costs too much money to sign. But first, Cooper Kupp. Because the Rams have said that they're moving on after 8 seasons of outstanding Cooper Kupp play, right? I mean, the guy is freaking a special football player. He might be a little long in the tooth at this point in his career. Staying on the field, a healthy player, has been rougher in the last couple of years than it was in just a few years before that. And the few years before that, he's putting up MVP numbers at wide receiver, where he's winning the NFL's wide receiving triple crown as the league's leader in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, whipped it out and showed it to us in a way a few years ago that made everybody go, holy shit. Like, we knew he was good, but I didn't know that he was going to be like a modern Jerry Rice level impact. Cooper Kupp, his best days might be behind him, but I tell you, as I still watch him, when he is out there, when he is playing, when he is available, Cooper Kupp is forever 14 yards on 3rd and 13. He still gets it done. In the big moments, Cooper Kupp is picking up that first down. Cooper Kupp is extending that drive. Cooper Kupp is bringing you into the red zone when you thought, okay, this 3rd down doesn't work. You're going to be looking at a field goal. Cooper Kupp still moves the needle of football games, and the Rams are now going to accommodate him in a trade, and there's just no way that the Rams are going to trade him to San Francisco, so you can just pretty much forget about Cooper Kupp. He would be like perfect for the way Kyle calls plays. He would be perfect for Brock Purdy. You know, is he the fastest guy in the room? I don't know anymore, but he's one of the most open dudes in the room, and getting open as a wide receiver for the 49ers this year was way too much of an adventure. It's not going to happen. See, Jacob Gordon just saying, no thanks regarding Kupp. I don't think you really need to worry about it, Jacob, because if you're the Rams and you're controlling Cooper Kupp's destination, you're not sending him here. By the way, Steelers, 100% in play. Chargers, I mean, if they really do want to do right by him and he likes LA that much, maybe the Chargers are in play for Cooper Kupp. Watch the Buffalo Bills, the Rams, and the Ravens be interested in Cooper Kupp. Again, this is a player who's still good. Very good. Cooper Kupp on the Chiefs, I don't even want to think about them going to a 4th Super Bowl. Jesus. Let's not do that. Again, I don't know what Cooper Kupp still got left, the entirety of who he is. But on 3rd and 13, he's 14 yards. He still is. I respect Cooper Kupp, but I don't think he's going to be a 49er. Let me tell you who I do think the 49ers need to pursue in free agency. You know, this is probably when we talk price tags of NFL free agents, this might be, a 12, 13, $14 million price point. It's not a sexy name. It's not going to sell any jerseys. It is not going to be the catalyst of igniting a fire of huge 49er fan excitement. But the one guy that I would add in free agency, and I would spend some money to do it, is center Drew Dalman. 27-year-old center Drew Dalman. He just spent last season with the Atlanta Falcons. He's arguably the best center that's going to be available in free agency. He has been a consistent player throughout his career. He specializes in zone blocking schemes, and that is exactly what the 49ers run game is all about. And he would just, I think, eliminate a position of constant worry. Just totally eliminate it. Do you think about center anymore? No, not really. Are you getting a level of outstanding Hall of Fame caliber play from your center here? No, probably not, but you're not worried about it anymore. There isn't somebody laying on Brock Purdy's knees and ankles and laps every single snap of the football. You actually got some push from guard to guard because you got a center. And I don't want to see the 49ers draft a center. I want to see them draft a tackle. I want to see them draft another interior offensive lineman. Again, the tackle that you draft for tomorrow could be today's guard. But I don't want a rookie calling protections for Brock Purdy. I want someone whose eyes have been in this league, whose hands have been on the line of scrimmage. I want Drew Dalman signed as a free agent by the 49ers above, I think, anybody else in this league. Forget about all your big, sexy names. They're going to be hard to sign in free agency. But go get me something that I then no longer need to worry about. Drew Dalman. That's the free agent name. Drew Down? No, not Drew Down. Thank you very much. Drew Dalman, True Blue forever. Cooper Kupp apparently to the Lakers. Thank you, Chef A. Yeah, thank you very, very much. I agree with you, Sporticus. Cooper Kupp is approaching the Adam Thielen portion of his career. Hey, Thielen can still get some things done. But yeah, I hear you. It's not the right time to be in the Cooper Kupp business. Plus, I don't think they're going to send the Cooper Kupp business the way of the 49ers. Get Drew Dolman of the Atlanta Falcons. Go ahead, plug him in at center, and worry less about Brock Purdy's protection and the running game, because this guy answers both. He protects the quarterback you're about to give $55 to $60 million a year to. First line of defense, as a matter of fact. And the running game lives again. Drew Dolman. That's the answer. That's the free agent answer, I think, for the 49ers. You want an answer that you can count on? You want an answer to what should you have for lunch today? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I pull him into the frame a little bit more. Look at him. I even got the Davy Crockett raccoon cap on my man Ike. I think Ike is serving up sandwiches in New Orleans, in his new location that is opened in New Orleans, all over the West Coast, dotted up and down. If you're not near an Ike Sandwiches, it is time to move. Or at least hope that Ike opens a store near you soon. His sandwiches are absolutely outstanding. I want you to sign up for the Ike's Rewards program. You get a free sandwich when you sign up. You get prizes with every purchase. Free chance to get drinks and chips. Get your lollipop. Come on. My man Ike has got it all covered for you. If you have not eaten at Ike's, I'm telling you, go out of your way. Make it happen. They're always making it happen at the Dubliner, baby. I love the guys at the Dubliner West Portal in San Francisco. My kind of people, my kind of bar. Kenny and John, love those guys. We're going to be back hanging out at the Dubliner soon. I tell you, I love the guys at the Dubliner. We want you to go check it out in West Portal. You will find the best little neighborhood bar you've seen, you could ever walk into. It's dark. It's got the right amount of TVs, the right amount of sound. You can have a conversation. You can focus on the game you're watching. It's got the perfectly poured Guinness in San Francisco. Get yourself to the Dubliner West Portal and tell them that Damon sent you. And oh, by the way, when you're making some plays, check out our good friends BetUS for all your gambling needs using promo code YouTube150. When you sign up, you start playing today with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 over on BetUS. I saw this today. You want to talk about something that is insane? There are 89 different prop bets about Taylor Swift alone in this Super Bowl. What, isn't 89 a big song for her, 1989, or a big album for her? I don't know anything really about Taylor Swift other than she's much more popular outside of my house than she is inside of my house. I'm not here to hate on Taylor Swift. I don't, musically, it ain't for me. But obviously, people keep checking that box. 89 different Taylor Swift prop bets broken down into 5 different categories. I guess there are anthem and pregame prop bets about Taylor. There's halftime show prop bets about her, broadcast and in-game prop bets about her, attire and clothing prop bets about her, and the chance of a post-game engagement proposal prop bet is also on the board for her and Travis Kelce. It would be funny if somebody other than Travis Kelce tried to, initiate that prop bet by just, proposing to her. Do I have to bet on Travis Kelce proposing to her? Either way, I know a lot of people are sick of it. I don't care. My superpower in 2025 is going to be not letting things that I really don't care about get to me. I'm going to be able to check the I really don't care about that box and mean it. Like, I'm not going to be the guy who's angry at, NFL officiating and say things stupid like, I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. Yes, you will. You will watch the Super Bowl. I promise you, your Super Bowl protest won't even last past the frickin' pregame nachos. You will be there. I'm not watching the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift or Patrick Mahomes or shut the fuck up. You're watching the Super Bowl. We all do. By the way, when we do watch the Super Bowl, Mike Silver has reported that there's something that you won't be seeing in the end zones in this year's Super Bowl. Mike Silver in The Athletic reported that Sunday's Super Bowl between the Chiefs and Eagles is going to mark the first time since February of 2021 that end racism will not be stenciled into the back of the Super Bowl's end zone. Well, that must mean that we have solved racism, thanks to the NFL. Again, Colin Kaepernick told us that he would stand for the anthem, and I think he did at one point. So I get that's good news. Look, so here's the deal. They're going to take the end racism out, and it's easy to conclude, is this because of new political climates? Is this because of DEI and Trump and all this stuff? I guess Trump is going to go to the Super Bowl. They're actually going to be painting the words "choose love" and "it takes all of us" into the back of the end zone. Why? Well, because of the terrible tragedy that befell the French Quarter in New Orleans. They said that this is not a nod to, the stamping out of the concept of DEI or anything like that. But this is about sending the right messages in New Orleans after that guy drove through the French Quarter and killed people. They're going to send, "it takes all of us" and choose love. How about this? I've got a suggestion. Why don't you get all the bullshit performative nonsense just right off the fucking football field? How about that? Could we do that? Like, I can't help but notice that the NFL stopped the whole pink initiative that used to take over the month of October, where there were pink highlights and pink socks and pink gloves and pink towels. And that was all for breast cancer, which I'm pretty sure still exists. It's just all of this on field, like when Major League Baseball does that whole stand up for cancer nonsense. It's just performative bullshit. Get it out. How about we get all the performative bullshit out of sports? Sounds good to me. I'm all about it. Eventually, people take that Black Lives Matter sign off their front yard. It's not because they don't believe. They're like, oh, now I'm back to thinking that Black lives don't matter, so I'm going to take the sign down. It's just you're done performing. The whole thing was a frickin' performance. Virtue signaling. So there you go. Take it all down. How about the things that are the bumpers of the message of positivity on the back of a football helmet on the little bumper, like right here. Let me get my Plus helmet. We got a bumper sticker. It says Damon Bruce Plus. It's not a message. It identifies what we are, who we do, what we do. There we go, right there. It's not like anyone has ever seen some sort of sappy message on the back of an NFL helmet and thought, I was going to be a horrifically racist person, but that helmet really changed my mind. I was going to choose evil, but choose love? Okay, NFL end zone, you got me. Again, what are we doing? It's just enough. Enough of all the douchey, reach around, glad handing, performative nonsense. Chef A, here you go. Choose Damon. Choose Damon. Hit like and subscribe. Choose Damon. Thank you, Chef A. Thank you. Let's see. What else have we got going on here today? I see the 49ers are already starting to meet with some players. It's early in the draft process for players to be bringing in guys for interviews, but I just think that this was interesting. The 49ers have met with Wake Forest offensive tackle Devontae Gordon, according to draft analyst Ryan Fowler. Devontae Gordon, tackle 315, 6'5", out of Wake Forest, rated a top 10 ACC offensive lineman. He can get out fast. He is good in pass pro. And all I can tell you is that he started over 50 games in college. And when you go through your mock drafts and you're looking at first, second, third round guys, probably not going to see the name Devontae Gordon. He's a day 3 guy. And the 49ers have already brought him in for an interview. So maybe that's I don't want to say the 49ers are publicly tipping their draft strategy with this one interview alone, but it sounds like, they're already looking at who they can identify to be this draft's Dominic Pooney, who is the one guy they can pull later round out who can be a player for them. And they're looking, I think, to come back for a either second bite at an offensive lineman apple or a first bite a little bit later on, because they might be going D-line, linebacker earlier on in the draft. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of time to think about how it all is going to play out, but the fact that they're already talking with later round offensive linemen, I think is a little window into how possibly the 49ers are thinking about this upcoming draft. So there you go. Interesting. I wanted to share that one with you here today. Sporticus says, just bring back shit happens. It's direct, it's honest, it's truth. Yeah, there you go. Imagine that in the back of any single NFL helmet, just as shit happens. By the way, the property manager of Capitola says, choose French roll over Dutch crunch. Yeah, that's the way I go when I order my Ikes too. Yeah, I'd like a soft roll. I don't like that Dutch crunch. It's going to cut the roof of my mouth. Don't like it. By the way, I hope the postman from Capitola sticks around for today in history, because he's going to be part of it. At least those in his profession will be part of it. Let's see. What else we got going on here today? A few other things other than just 49ers free agency thinking, or maybe a little understanding of how they're starting to think about their draft days coming up. It is a very, very important 48 hours and handful of games for the Golden State Warriors here. They got past the Orlando Magic at home with a win last night. Warriors seem to have one kind of big move sort of available thing to them. Zion Williamson remains out there. We'll see if they are going to pull the trigger on a move. If they don't pull a trigger on a move in the next 48 hours, then we're going to be talking about how they spent another year evaluating everything, yet doing nothing. And the spinning of the wheels is officially now happening. That would bring you up to the upcoming offseason where you either land Giannis or you don't. I don't know if I'm betting on that. That's where they are. This team feels like it's stuck. And the Golden State Warriors, unfortunately for them, their front office's reputation, it's now easier to measure who the Warriors are in the moves that they didn't make rather than the moves that they have made. Now, I was going to go ahead and prepare a comprehensive look at some of the decisions that have slipped right through their fingers, but somebody online has already done that for me, and I want to share this video with you here today. This is from this young man right here. He is known as the Legend of Winning. He does a lot of good videos. I've started following him recently. He's an NBA guy. He's a sports guy. I don't know what his real name is. Legends of Winning is how he identifies himself. And in the next 2 minutes, he's going to sort of break down where the Warriors are. And I want you to listen to this. He says it perfectly. He says what I was going to say. He throws in a few more N-words than I was going to use. But you need to listen to this, because I could not bring us through a timeline of decisions that weren't made or were made poorly any better than the legend of winning just did. Watch this video.
No, it's more than 0 for 4. We got to really unpack this. I don't think I have ever in my life seen a franchise step up to the plate and swing and miss so many times in trying to add talent to a roster when there were so many obvious ways to doing so. So again, we got to go back. Bro, they had draft picks. Instead of trading them for veteran pieces, they decided not to. With those draft picks, they swung and missed on Wiseman instead of getting LaMelo. They swung and missed on Kuminga instead of getting Franz. They swung and missed on Moody instead of getting Trey Murphy. All of that. That's 4 right there. Then this nigga punched the shit out of Jordan Poole. He's gone for Chris Paul. That's 5 right there. Then you had the ability to get Chris Paul for Zach LaVine during the offseason. You let him walk for nothing. That's 6 right there. Then you could have kept Klay Thompson and have him on the roster and just ride it out like you're about to basically ride it out to the sunset right now. You let him walk for basically nothing. That's 7 right there. Told him, Klay Thompson, hey, we ain't got the money for you, but we'll give it to Paul George. Then that fell apart. That's 8 right there. Then Laurie Marketing was available for B-Pod. You said no to that. That's 9 right there. Then you're telling me you have Vooch and Levine again. You said, no, I'm going to pivot to Jimmy Butler. That's 10 right there. Then Jimmy Butler told you, no, that's 11 right there. Then you got your hopes up for LeBron to the Warriors. That's 12 right there. Then you try to get Kevin Durant on the roster. He said no. That's 13 right there. Nigga, that's 13 attempts. 13 opportunities to add pieces next to Curry, all of which swung out. Nigga.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I couldn't do any better recap other than to include the moves of not going after OG Anunoby, not going after Pascal Siakam, not going after Alex Caruso. You know, he probably should have kept Jordan Poole. Maybe you might have moved on from Draymond. You held on for Klay Thompson for too long, didn't trade him, let that wick just totally burn. You got nothing to show for him walking away. That guy nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Yeah, Chef, you're right. Look out, Stephen A. Smith. The guy was fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, the Warriors, when you start measuring a team and what they failed to do outside of what they are doing, that ain't good. That ain't good. Legend of winning. That video just absolutely nailed it. So the Warriors' entire season has reached event horizon. Here we are. They got 48 hours in which to do something or nothing to help Steph Curry through the remainder of this season. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There is a 7-game road trip and an all-star weekend, which means the Warriors aren't playing another home game for 3 weeks. They got 21 days between now and February 23rd. Is that 21 days? Yeah, no, yeah, yes. Well, 19. This is it. To be when the Klay Thompson Dallas Mavericks roll into Chase Center with Anthony Davis on February 23rd, when you're going to see them back on their home court. They got a back-to-back this week. The Warriors are in Utah on Wednesday, and then they'll be ready to meet the Luka-led Lakers on Thursday down in L.A., and then it's Chicago, Milwaukee, Dallas, Houston, Sacramento, all on the dance card, all on the road. Everything you need to know about the Golden State Warriors will be revealed in the next 48 hours, and then whatever happens by the end of this long road trip that they got. I don't even know if I'm looking at a playoff team. Who dare calls during the show? How dare you, sir or madam? By the way, we are 15 subscribers away from 27,500. Let's go. 15 of you. Just hit that subscribe button right now if you're not already on board. We got merch available. My goodness. We got ourselves memberships available to you for the initiated. You really want to support the show, but just by hitting like and subscribe. That goes a really, really long way to help supporting the show. I will, of course, be back with Larry Krueger on Wednesday. I will be doing a show about the NBA trade deadline, the Warriors. My friend Cyrus will be joining me at our 11 a.m. start time on Wednesday. We're also going to have Mark Medina, who's covered the NBA very long time, join us in that show tomorrow. Mark Medina is going to be joining us for a little run up to the NBA trade deadline. Let's see if the Warriors do anything. One last final NBA note. There are teams that you might not root for, but you like a player. I've always really liked Devin Booker. Devin Booker's a good basketball player, man. He became the Phoenix Suns' all-time leading scorer last night. He's only 28 years old, and he hits a three last night, breaking Walter Davis's franchise record of 15,666 points. He had 34 in the game, and Booker now has 15,678 points. The all-time leading scorer of the Phoenix Suns is only 28 years old. Wow. So impressive, Devin Booker. There's a lot of talk about what might happen with Kevin Durant if he is on the move. I'm telling you, if Kevin Durant is putting on another uniform in his career, you just want to talk about how much he fucked up when he left the Golden State Warriors. The fact that Kevin Durant would be on a third jersey since leaving the Golden State Warriors, if he were to be on the move at this deadline too, it's just unbelievable. I'm going to the Brooklyn Nets was the dumbest fucking decision that you have ever seen in the NBA. Kyrie or not, at the time with Kyrie, didn't make it better. And now, the Phoenix Suns, he's going to go there. Him and Booker and Beal are going to do what? They're going to break that up instantly? Good God. If the Chiefs win, will there be a four-peat? Well, first of all, Dan Mab. You got to win a third before you get to a four. Let's see if they do it. Here's the thing. I know it's very popular to be rooting against the Kansas City Chiefs. I really don't have much of a rooting interest in this game because when I think about teams that I just don't really like, the Eagles are on top of that list. Always have been. But I don't know. I don't hate the Eagles. I don't hate the Chiefs. I just want a good game. That's all I want. I don't care who wins it. Give me a game that in the end of the fourth quarter, I'm still watching on the edge of my seat and we got something going. And by the way, we do know if that's the situation, the Chiefs are probably going to come out on top because all they do is find a way to win close game after close game after close game after close game. But Draymond ran away two quality players, one of them a Hall of Famer. Look, I think that we can absolutely say there is, some truth to that. It ain't easy living in the same room as Draymond Green. There are days it's really worth it, and there are days it makes you go, what are you thinking? He was pretty good last night, actually. Again, when Draymond is on his best behavior, playing hard, he's a force. When he's hitting Jordan Poole or running Kevin Durant into the arms of the Brooklyn Nets, it's not good. It's not good. Let's see. What else do we have for you here today? Cowards remain cowardly. What do you know? Is there any surprise there? A little bit of a follow-up of Ichiro's Hall of Fame induction. So all 321 voters who allowed their ballots to be made public every single one of them voted for Ichiro Suzuki, but Suzuki only appeared on 393 of the 394 ballots, which means one person who votes for the Hall of Fame thinks that their opinion of Ichiro Suzuki is more important to have enshrined in the record than Ichiro being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Being a unanimous Hall of Famer. There's only ever been one other. Mariano Rivera is the only player to get 100% of the vote from the BBWA. Derek Jeter was on 395 of 396. Put your name on it, you frickin' coward. That's all I can say. The fact that you get to keep a Hall of Fame vote when you have a less than 1% dissension, less than 1%. When you are a decimal point dissenter, you're just being an asshole. You probably don't have a good point to make at all. If your point was, I've evaluated this man's career and he should not be in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, you should not have anything to do with the Hall of Fame decision. And I'm not saying that this all has to be groupthink or everyone has to think alike. But there are a few times when what actually happened means more to enshrine correctly than your opinion of what happened. The opinion that you don't think Ichiro should be a first ballot Hall of Famer is less relevant to the historical record than the fact that he should without a doubt be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Postman says, I'm in the house, DB, but will I be in Club Plus? No, we're not going to Club Plus today, but you're going to be a part of this day in history, which we're about to get to. But I really mean it. I hope this one person gets identified and really does go to lunch with Ichiro and has to explain to Ichiro why I didn't think you should be a unanimous Hall of good God, what a freaking coward. Put your name on it. Put your name on anything that you say, especially if the entire world is walking in this direction, but you want to walk in this direction all by yourself without revealing who you are, you freaking coward. And that pretty much is our show today, my good friends, my good people. We have a history lesson for you. But first, one of the most important lessons for you to have learned today is the next time you're going to order lunch, do it at Ike's. Whether you're doing it for yourself, whether you're doing it for your office, get yourself to Ike's. If there's an Ike's available to you, eat there. Incredible sandwiches. Customize them any way you want. You want vegan options. You want vegetarian options. He has those. Who in God's name would ever want either? But he's got them. You want a big, fat, meaty sandwich with mozzarella sticks and onion rings on it? And he's got that for you, too. Now you're speaking my kind of language right there. You want the best Guinness in San Francisco? You go to the Dubliner West Portal. You'll be very, very happy that you did. I'll tell you, though, we have got a fun meetup at the Halfway Club for Super Bowl Sunday that I hope you plan on attending. We're going to be there starting around 3:00. We got dinner. We got food and drink specials happening in the back of the Halfway Club, and their huge projection, big screen TV will be all ours. Plusers, come on through if you can make it to the Halfway Club this Sunday. And again, when you're throwing a little cash around the big game, check out BetUS. Get 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 when you use promo code YouTube150. And now it's officially time to talk about today in history. We start with the baddest man on the board. Happy birthday. He's turning 66 years old. Happy birthday, Lawrence Taylor. The Hall of Famer is one of the greatest football players of all time. You can just get the word defensive out of it. He's one of the greatest football players of all time, either side of the ball. A singular one-man wrecking crew in what we all know is a team sport where no one man really changes the temperature of a room that much. Nonsense. Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Famer, maybe the single greatest singular individual defensive presence of all time, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, an MVP, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 10 Pro Bowls, and 1 bad motherfucker. No one has ever been better at any position than Lawrence Taylor was at outside linebacker. The best. The best. We can debate greatest running back of all time, greatest quarterback of all time, greatest corner of all time, greatest anything of all time. It's up for debate. Not outside linebacker. There is one correct answer there. There is one correct answer. When you got a sport with so much history, like baseball, there's not a lot of one singular correct answers unless you get to who's the greatest leadoff hitter of all time, in which case it is Rickey Henderson, and there's nothing left to discuss. I'm sorry I have to past tense that now. So it was Rickey Henderson. So happy birthday, Lawrence Taylor, who turns 66. Happy birthday to a big name from the 90s, maybe the last relevant boxing decade. Oscar De La Hoya turns 52 years old today. 11 world titles across 6 weight classes for the Golden Boy. He is now a big puppet master in boxing, and he's got Golden Boy Productions. So happy birthday to 2 big names in our sporting lives, Oscar De La Hoya and Lawrence Taylor. Today in history, back in 1783, Britain formally ceased hostilities with American colonies. So I guess that was how we wrapped up the Revolutionary War. Congratulations to all who fought on the right side of that. Suck it, Britain. Fast forwarding from the 1700s all the way to 1932, the Winter Olympics held for the first time ever in the continental United States in the sleepy little town of Lake Placid in New York, which would get the Olympics again in the 80s. But happy birthday to Winter Olympics coming to the United States for the first time ever in Lake Placid. Today in 1938, Thornton Wilder's play Our Town, a classic portrayal of small-town American life, made its Broadway debut. And unfortunately, after that happened, every single high school student has to go through the motions of that boring fucking play, Our Town. And I'm seriously, didn't you have to at some point get handed the book Our Town, the play Our Town, and have to, with some drama teacher in high school, be assigned the boring ass characters? Who's the narrator? Who's the teen couple? Oh my God, Our Town sucks. But every single kid in high school has to go through it. I hate Our Town. I do. I hated Our Town. Today in 1974, newspaper heiress Patty Hearst was kidnapped by the Symbionese Liberation Army. And what a story it was for the Bay Area. She got kidnapped in Berkeley. She got stashed in San Francisco. I actually used to live not too far away from the Patty Hearst stash house. And this is one of the Stockholm syndromes where she actually gained compassion for her kidnappers. Again, teenage girls, their minds are so easily swayed. But there you go. Very interesting day. She still lives in San Francisco to this day, apparently. Patty Hearst kidnapping. Ta-da! Happy anniversary. 1974. Happened a year before I was born. Life as we know it changed today for its good and its bad. In 2004, a website called The Facebook was launched today, February 4th, 2004. Mark Zuckerberg still has no shot to get laid or meet a girl, even though, he's married now, but it took the money for anyone to want to spend any time with this dork. And look, let's face it, Facebook has its merits, its demerits. It has changed the way people communicate for the good and the bad, and it's among the tools that will help further our own destruction, probably. So thanks, Mark Zuckerberg. Build more hospitals, you fuck. Happy birthday to Serbia and Montenegro, because today in 2003, Yugoslavia officially changed its name to Serbia and Montenegro. Hey, Yugoslavia, you look a little different. Did you lose weight? No, you just added a little Serbia and Montenegro. Today in 2003, RIP Yugoslavia, which of course gave us the Yugo. Yugoslavia gave us a lot of Slavic Gary Radnich jokes back in the day, for those who observe. Happy Hemp Day. I don't know who chooses these days. It's Puppy Day. It's Cheeseburger Day. It's Hand Somebody a Flower Day. Hemp Day is today. I guess that serves that hemp is a sustainable, natural solution for health, wellness, food security, and more. It is the and more where hemp usually gets our attention here in the Bay Area. So happy birthday, Hemp Day, I guess. But this is where I've been waiting to bring the entire show to our good friend, the postman in Capitola today. Let me ask you, do you know the name of your postal carrier? I can honestly say just about everywhere I have ever lived, I have known the name of my postal carrier, the woman who is our neighborhood postal carrier here in my neighborhood. It's Sandy. Sandy waves hello to the children. Sandy is on our front porch delivering something, dropping something off as much as anyone in our family is. We see Sandy almost every single day. The Bruces have voted. We are all pro Sandy, the postwoman in our neighborhood. She's great. We also have a very nice relationship with our UPS driver. His name's Claudio. Get to know your postal carrier, your UPS driver, because today is Thank a Mail Person Day. Maybe this is Postman in Capitola's idea. I don't know. Postman in Capitola. Get to know your mail person. Today to recognize and appreciate mail carriers' hard work and the dedication to their important role in connecting communities. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you walk into an office building every single day and you got somebody at that front desk who's a security guard that you walk past every single day, ask them their name. If you see the same parking lot attendant every single day, ask them their name. The people that you have daily interactions with, connect with them. I'm not saying you got to become best friends or go to dinner, but what's your name? Who are you? I see you every day. Introduce yourself. Be good to your postal carrier, your Amazon driver, your UPS employee. Get to know your bartender, the person who cuts your hair, the person who, runs the Ike's that you go to for all your sandwiches. Get to know people. And that's really what I love about YouTube, how we've gotten to know each other. This is how society remains connected. They're trying to pull us all apart. You know who you can't be pulled apart from? Someone who you know and you like and you know their name. So the postman in Capitola. Freaking love you, buddy. Yeah, seriously. Sandy, our postal worker. Claudio, our UPS driver. If we had a milkman, we would know the milkman's name. Introduce yourself. Say hi. And that's it. Thank you for watching today's show. Thank you for being a part of today's show. Thank you for sharing today's show. Thank you for telling your friends about today's show. Thank you for subscribing based on today's show. If you haven't before, thank you for hitting like on today's show. Thank you for sponsoring and supporting the sponsors who sponsored today's show. And I hope you have a great day no matter where you go. no matter what you do. I hope it's a good one. Thank you so much for watching. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone.